What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/AmITheButthole. Alright, this story's called, Am I the Butthole for not wanting to share a room with stepbrother anymore after he came out? My dad got married over a year ago. His wife moved in with her son, who's the same age as me, 16. It's a 2-bedroom house, so Steven moved into my room too. It didn't bother me before because I was mostly with my mom and my dad only on weekends. My mom got called out of state for work and she's not gonna be back for months, so I'm now with him full time. I met Steven a few times, but now being here all the time, I notice weird stuff. There's a bathroom in my room and he literally gets out naked every single time, even when I was already in the room before he went in. I always tell him, what the heck? And he says sorry, but always does it. Now I just leave the room when he showers. When I play video games, he'll come sit right next to me and we're pressed right against each other. There's more space on the couch, so it bothers me that he does that. Other times he'll be talking to me and put his hand right on my lap, but not move it. I don't know, it's weird for me because I don't like being touched, but he's always super touchy with me no matter how many times I tell him I hate it. What's made it really uncomfortable is when I change or something in the room, he straight up watches me and it creeps me out, so I go do that in the bathroom too. It's always weird when he's around and I just don't like it. And he always wants to be around me. He came out 2 months ago and now some stuff makes sense. It's more awkward because I feel like he's into me or something. Still stares if he comes in when I'm changing my clothes, but acts like he wasn't. Gets naked around me when he's changing. So I told my dad I don't want to share my room with him anymore and said why. My dad doesn't think it's wrong the way he is, but he let me turn the basement downstairs into my own room when I asked him. It was a TV room we never used and it had lots of space for my bed and all my other stuff. Steven's mad now that I don't want to share a room with him. He says I'm homophobic. Cause what a coincidence, I'm only doing it now after he came out. His mom is mad too and thinks I'm overreacting because boys change in locker rooms together all the time, so that shouldn't make me uncomfortable. She says too that I'm being weird only because he's gay. But I don't know, I was always uncomfortable in locker rooms too. And plus, he straight up walks around naked in front of me, which I don't like. It's tense at home with them both saying I'm being homophobic, and Steven says I'm hurting his feelings not want to share that space anymore. I didn't like any of the stuff he was doing even before he came out, but now it's just to where I was fed up with it. Knowing that he's gay just made me start to wonder if it was all being done on purpose. So, I don't know, am I being the butthole? No. Obviously, Steven's at a very sensitive part in his life because he just came out, to his family at least. And I can imagine, I don't know, this is a weird situation. I think you should tell him all this stuff, and if he still doesn't understand, then that's on him, because you told him he was making you uncomfortable, and I don't know, he's acting kind of like a jerk here, and it's not fair. But you should definitely make sure he knows that it's not because he's gay, it's because it's making you uncomfortable what he's doing. Nothing to do with who he is, just his actions. And hey, there's nothing wrong with wanting your own room, alright? It's natural to want your own space, especially when, the space you did have was kind of made uncomfortable. Alright, this is called Update. Am I the butthole for not wanting to share my room with my stepbrother anymore after he came out? Okay, I know it hasn't been that long, but crap kinda hit the fan this week. So, thanks everyone for supporting me through this, cause I felt like I was losing it with everyone at home making me feel like crap. It helped a lot that people understood what I was dealing with and didn't make me feel bad for feeling the way I do. Some comments were saying I needed to tell my mom about what was going on since she didn't even know, even though I felt bad about it. A day after I posted, I told her, first about the way Steven was acting with me, then how they were all giving me crap about being homophobic since I decided to move out of my room after he came out. She was pissed the frick off. She told me to put my dad on, and I could hear her yelling at him from the phone when I gave it to him. My dad wasn't happy and they were arguing for like a half hour, but he said he was sorry for not really doing much for me about Steven, and my mom says she doesn't want me there because of Steven and also doesn't like fact that I'm sleeping in the basement and doesn't know if it's even safe for me down there since it's an old basement. Okay, that's a bit far. Basements are great. My mom told me she wants me over there with her, but only if I want to. School is online and I don't see any of my friends anyway, so it wouldn't be a big deal if I stayed with her. I talked to my dad and then to my mom. He was mad that I wanted to go with her, but he didn't tell me anything else. She drove all the way back here and picked me up on Thursday. Been here at the hotel she's staying at since Friday. It's more chill, to be honest. I'm here alone most of the time since my mom has to work all day, so I like the privacy. I've talked to my dad and he says they're gonna talk to Steven. I don't know how that's gonna go when my stepmom was still all defensive about him when I left. We'll see, I guess. I don't know for how long we'll be here. I think another 2 to 3 months, but at least I'm not there at my dad's for right now with all those uncomfortable vibes. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, since everyone was really helpful about what I should do and how I don't need to be dealing with that crap. Yikes, that's a situation. Well, I'm glad your mom understood, and hopefully over time they'll understand, because right now it just seems like there's a whole lot of insecurity going on, causing all this defensive behavior. But hopefully with time, people get over that, and y'all will be able to reconcile and understand each other, and that you're not being homophobic, you're just uncomfortable with his actions on you. Alright, this story's called, Am I the Butthole for Asking My Dad If the Reason He Missed My Birthday Was to Be with His Other Family? My parents divorced 3 years ago because my dad had an affair and the lady got pregnant and he left us to be with her and the kid. My sister and I hate him, but our mom still wants us to have a relationship with him, so we see him once or twice a month to make her happy. My sister and I turned 16 on Saturday, twins. We had a party in the park with our aunts, uncles, cousins, and grandparents from both sides of the family. We all wore masks. The only person who didn't come was my dad. He came over yesterday to drop off our present. I swear it was made for an 8-year-old, and said that he was sorry that he couldn't come to our birthday and that he was busy. He lost his job in May and has been sitting on his ass playing video games since because nobody's hiring, so I know he wasn't working. I asked him exactly why he couldn't come to our birthday, and he just said that he was busy, so I looked at him and asked if the reason he missed our 16th birthday was because he wanted to be with his other family instead. He left without saying anything, and I've been banned from their house for being rude. Someone's defensive. Am I the butthole for asking my dad if he missed my and my sister's birthday because he'd rather be with his other family? Edit. He hates it when we call them his other family because he wants us to think of them as our family. He even tried for a while to get us to call his new wife Mom. Yikes. No, he's just a little baby man making baby man choices, and can't handle the truth. Alright, this story's called Update. Am I the butthole for asking my dad if he missed my birthday party to be with his other family? The visits with my dad have stopped. Instead, we spend those weekends with our grandparents, which is way better. My sister and I returned the dresses. My sister bought a jacket that she liked, and I got shoes and makeup. When my dad found out that my sister and I weren't visiting anymore, he got mad. He said he didn't mean it when he said I was banned, and I need to have a relationship with my brother and sister. Yes, this was how my dad decided to announce that his wife is pregnant. He also thought it would be the right time to tell us that our sister would need our room, so when we visit, we take the couch. He also wanted 50-50 custody. When our mom heard that he's giving away our room and wants to go to court for more custody, she lost it. She screamed at him about how irresponsible and selfish he is and told him that he'd be laughed out of court if he tried to get custody without us even having a bedroom there. I think he's still trying to go to court, but my sister and I don't like him and don't want to stay there anymore, and we don't have a room, so there's pretty much zero chance we're gonna have to stay there. Also, my mom introduced me and my sister to her boyfriend the other day, and he seemed great. He really wants to get to know me and my sister individually, something my dad didn't even care to do. And he's so nice to us and my mom. Okay, I gotta clear my throat. They're talking about him moving in a few months. So even though my dad's a jerk, I guess this story still has a happy ending. Edit, I just looked it up, and we're in a state where there's no guarantee they'll take what we say into account, and you legally can't refuse visitation. Damn, he's a jerk. This guy has absolutely... he just does not give a crap about OP and sis. That's messed up. That's really messed up. So, no, OP, you're not the butthole. Alright, this story's called, Am I the Butthole for Not Wanting My Half-Brother to Have the Same Name as Me? This is a really weird question, but for some reason it's turned into a whole issue. When I, 16 male, was born, my parents named me Giuseppe after my grandpa on my mom's side. Italian, huh? My parents divorced when I was 5, but my mom got sick when I was 12 and passed away last year, so I had to go live full-time with my dad. 2 years ago, my dad started dating Kaylee until they got married. I'm not close with Kaylee, but that's not because we don't like each other. We just don't talk a lot. And I'm always staying with my grandma or uncle on my mom's side when I'm not at my dad's. They found out they're pregnant months ago and also learned it's a boy. Ever since, Kaylee keeps saying she also wants her son to be named Giuseppe because she likes the name so much and how it sounds. I straight up told her that's my name and would be weird having my half-brother having the exact same name as me. Kaylee said it wasn't weird at all, and I don't own the name, so I can't say it's mine. She seemed really mad that I called it weird and said I should get used to it because that's the name they're deciding on. My dad backed her up at first, but we talked a little more. I just told him it didn't feel right for us two to have the exact same name, and maybe that could be a middle name or something if she likes it so much. He talked to Kaylee about changing it as a middle name so the first name could be something else, but she just got more mad. Now she says I'm ruining this whole experience by making a big deal over a name. My dad is in the middle. He's willing to back me up and not let Kaylee name their baby that, but says I should just let it go. My uncle, dad's brother, and some of my friends agree it's weird, but Kaylee is being super cold, so I don't know if I'm wrong here. Am I the butthole? No, man, that's weird. Like, how are you gonna distinguish each other from each other? You get what I'm saying? How, like, if someone says, Giuseppe, who's gonna be called? You or the bro? You don't know. Unless you go by a nickname, but that defeats the purpose. Because either you go by the nickname, which would suck because you had the name first, or the kid gets the nickname because, you know, they're younger, but that just defeats the purpose. Stupid, dummy Kaylee. Alright, this story's update. Am I the butthole for not wanting my half-brother to have the same name as me? Since people wanted an update on how everything is right now, my little bro was born last week, and I'm still the only Giuseppe in the family, and my grandpa. I did like some of you were saying to do, and had another talk with my dad to get him to understand. I'm glad everyone agreed it was super weird for bringing up that it could cause some identity issues in the future if we have the same name. Plus the fact that it feels like she's just trying to replace me and take a name away that she didn't even know about until she met me. My dad actually heard me this time, and he said he was sorry for not fully thinking about how this would make me feel. He listened more when I brought up the identity thing and how it could cause problems for us in the future, so thanks for mentioning that. But after that, he still wouldn't talk to Kaylee about changing her mind. My uncle, his brother, and his other family actually started giving him crap after I told them. They told him that's weird as heck, and my uncle even told Kaylee too, which made her super mad. So after my dad was like, okay, he's not gonna be named that at all, they had a lot of fights over it because Kaylee wouldn't let it go. But my dad said there was no way in hell the baby was also gonna be named Giuseppe, and they were gonna have a big problem if she tries to name him that. Not gonna say he threatened to end things, because I wasn't in the room when they had their fight, but it was pretty big the way he said it. So she gave up, but she was being super benchy to me for a while. It was awkward, but whatever. I was just glad she stopped with the name thing. The name they gave my bro isn't close to mine at all. Anyways, he's really cute. My dad says he looks just like me when I was born. Gonna be boring until I can play with him in a few months. Kaylee is still being different, but she doesn't say anything when I'm holding my brother. He cries a lot, but I love him a lot, and happy he's not Giuseppe 2.0. Jeez, I'm glad it worked out, because that's just a weird issue to have. Like, God, how thoughtless does she have to be? This is called, Am I the butthole for refusing to pay for an expensive dress which was ruined at my wedding? My father-in-law is a dirtbag who ended his 23-year marriage with a text and moved in with mother-in-law's best friend since college while mother-in-law was on a trip. I'm gonna call the friend Shanna, and her and father-in-law are married now, very unhappily, and it is a huge crap show. Stealing father-in-law wasn't enough, and Shanna went on a smear campaign and told everyone stuff mother-in-law had told her in confidence. Mother-in-law hates them for valid reasons, but I have tried to tell her the best revenge is living well. She just got engaged to someone who treats her like a princess and has real money. Father-in-law has become a gambling addict, and him and Shauna are screwed. But there is still a lot of anger. I probably screwed up by sitting them together at the wedding, but mother-in-law's fiancé accidentally knocked his entire glass of wine onto Shauna's lap. I'm pretty sure he did it on purpose, and I do think it was needlessly immature, but not my problem. The dress cost $1,500, and the stain will come out. Shanna asked me to pay for it, and I refused. She cried and said the dress was important, and she just wanted to feel special and beautiful. I told her to take it up with the fiancé, but she said he would just tell her to step off. She was really distraught and said since it was my wedding, it is my responsibility and that I should have done something when she was humiliated. As of right now, I am refusing to pay. No, you're not at fault here. But I feel like you could have been smarter with the seating arrangements. But no, if anyone has to pay for it, it's the fiance guy, because that was just stupid. Even if she was a bad person, come on. Plus, he's got the money, so. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.